Good day, human Latiocytes. This is the LatiosAzurill, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Go. So, well, today I'm not gonna go out walking or anything or hatching eggs. Today we're gonna go evolve a bunch of these Pokemon that we have. So, although there seem to be a lot of Pokemon around here. Oh, 7-day streak, and we grow to level 23. Bunch of items. Cool! You know what, let's try to catch a Meowth, since why not? Why not? It's here, so hey. Oh, you're breaking out. Wow, okay. Okay, Meowth. You're breaking out of the ball. You're staying in this ball, though. I know you are. That's what I'm talking about. We're catching ourselves a Meowth. Awesome. Alright. Okay. Might as well catch the Rattata. Only level 10, so this is pretty much guaranteed as a capture, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's guaranteed. And yeah, there we go. Alright. Rattata was caught. Alright. So, well, I actually have a lot of items now. Interesting. Alright, but we are going to be using... I'm level 23 now. I'm going to need 125,000 experience in order to move on to the next level. So, we're going to start evolving some Pokemon. I'm going to use a Lucky Egg. Alright. Alright, let's start evolving. We can evolve a Bulbasaur, perhaps. You know what, let's evolve it. I have a Venusaur already, so... Sure. Sure. So we're gonna get an Ivysaur in our Pokedex. Since I don't have one already, and, you know, I already caught a wild Venusaur, so hey! There we go! Alright. Ivysaur is registered in the Pokedex. Alright. I can't evolve one of my Charmanders, I don't have nearly enough candy. I have no reason to evolve a Squirtle because, well, A, I don't have enough candy, and B, I'd rather get a Blastoise first. Caterpie. I can evolve a Caterpie. Sure, let's evolve a Caterpie. There's no reason not to evolve it, even though I probably should have evolved one of the stronger ones, just because it'll gain more CP, but whatever. I'm not gonna be there's no way I'm really gonna be using a Metapie anyway, regardless of the combat power, so there's that. Alright, you know what? Let's evolve this one as well, then. No reason not to evolve all these Pokemon. We're going to try to evolve as many as we can within half an hour. We've done this before. Same deal. Same deal. This is just about getting all of the experience we can get from this, which is why we do this with the Lucky Egg. Alright. I have a bunch of Weedle. So let's start evolving these. I didn't mean to... Wow. I accidentally released it. I meant to evolve it. I think it's muscle memory from releasing Pokemon. I haven't been doing too much of Go lately, but I'm release them more often than I evolve them. I will say that. Alright. Whatever. Either way, we have a bunch of Weedle to evolve. And a lot of Pidgey. A lot of Pidgey. But I really don't need the candy, so, I mean, unless I wanted to, like, get, like, a really strong Pidgeot, but what's the point? Alright. I'm probably gonna end up releasing most of these Kakuna anyway afterward. Maybe the strongest can stay, well, the strongest will stay, I guess, but I have no reason to keep a bunch of Kakuna. Okay. So, we're still evolving these Weedle. Alright. So, there are some Pokemon that I will be able to actually register in the Pokedex, which will be kind of cool, but for now we're not really getting very much experience because we're only evolving Pokemon that we've already have. Alright. So, alright, here we go. Try to take advantage of that lucky egg, but I feel like it's only going to help so much. I'm not going to get to level 24 today. I already know that for a fact. Alright, you know what? I don't think I'm going to need too many more, to evolve too many more of these. I only have so many candy anyway. Well, so much candy, I suppose. So, too bad there's no way to expedite the evolution. It would save time, and, you know, we're kind of on the clock right now. So, yes, we're going to try to see how many Pokemon we can evolve within half an hour. If it takes less than a minute per one, then, you know, we can probably evolve multiple ones per minute, and then we'll be good. In fact, why don't I keep track of how long it takes to evolve this thing? Let's go. So, this Weedle is evolving. So many evolutions. And... okay, so it takes about 15 seconds, 20 seconds, I guess, to evolve. Which is not too bad, I suppose. Could be worse. Could be worse. Alright. Alright, another Kakuna. What's gonna be interesting is, once we have Pokemon from Johto and other regions come out, split evolutions are going to be a little confusing, I feel like. Especially because, like, with Eevee, it was a little bit different because there was a way to decide, right off the bat, well, to choose what kind of evolution you were going to get. But I feel like it might not be like that for every, species. Okay, I'm going to go back to Pidgey later. Can I evolve a Clefairy? I cannot evolve a Clefairy. Can I evolve a... well, I can evolve a Jigglypuff, though. So you know what? Let's evolve Jigglypuff. Let's go. I don't think I have a Wigglytuff, so hey, this will be different. This will be different. I remember a long time ago I almost caught a Clefable, but then the game crashed. Gotta love the early game where, early on in the game where, you know, we had, games crashing all the time. Alright, so we have a Wigglytuff. So I'm gonna save my Zubat candy and whatnot for, when I can get Crobat. I can probably evolve this into Vileplume, but I'm gonna wait off right this second, because I might, if there's a way to get Bellossom, I might try to do that instead. I am gonna evolve this Paris, though. We're gonna go, I'm sorry, Paris, I'm letting the, mushroom take over. I'm sorry. That poor little bug. The parasite took over. Its eyes are all whited out. That's a shame. But with that, we registered Parasect in the Pokedex, so that's cool. That's cool. Alright. I don't think I can evolve Diglett. I cannot. I can probably evolve a Meowth, if nothing else. Yeah, I can, so let's do that. It's not like I need all the candy anyway. I mean, I could, in theory, power up a Persian, but what's the point? Let's do this. Alright, we have another Persian. Awesome, alright. And it's a stronger Persian than the first one. We're not evolving a Mankey, I don't think. Nope. Psyduck I can evolve. In fact, I might evolve if we have time later. I'm not going to evolve you. I don't have enough to evolve to get a Poliwrath. Politoed's on it anyway, but I can get a Victory Bell. So let's do that. It's going to use all my candy, but, you know, why not? I know I could, in theory, just, you know, catch a Victory Bell, in theory, but the likelihood of finding one is very low, so I might as well evolve the, my strongest Weeping Bell. So there we go, now we have a Victory Bell. Alright. Not that strong, though, in theory. Whatever. I'm gonna hold off until we can get Slowking before I try evolving a Slowpoke. CL is not evolving. I could evolve a Doduo. You know what? Let's evolve a Doduo. Let's do this. Might as well get a stronger Dodrio, since we can. Really only because we can. And there we go. Let's see how strong this thing is. Probably, like, my guess would be about 700? No, 800. 880, okay. Almost 900. Cool. Shelter is not evolving. Haunter can. Alright, Haunter, time for you to evolve. Let's let this thing evolve. We're gonna go get ourselves a Gengar, since I never actually caught one. So, we don't even have to trade it. Convenient enough? Okay. Granted, there's no trading so far in this game, but alright, there we go. Registered Gengar in the Pokedex. 694. I mean, could be worse, I guess, but alright, Drowsy. We're missing it by one. One away. Alright, that's a shame. Krabby can evolve. Cubone cannot evolve. We can get an Executor, though. So let's evolve one of our Executes. So we're gonna go get ourselves an Executor. Not an Alolan Executor, but, you know, still an Executor nonetheless. Alright. So, we got an Executor. CP 1764. Now that is strong. Alright. Didn't expect that to happen. Alright, Coughing. I'm a few down. I can't evolve you yet. Rhyhorn, can't nearly evolve you. Horsey, I mean, I might find a Seadra and then wait for Kingdra to come out. That's a possibility. Can't evolve Staryu. I did find a Ditto, though, interestingly enough. It was a, I think it was a Pidgey, and then it turned into a Ditto, which was interesting. Sorry I didn't get that on screen, but I wasn't recording at the time. Alright. Also, I got a few more of the, Sanded Shoes. Alright. Let's evolve an Ekans. Might as well get an Arbok. Might as well go get ourselves an Arbok. I understand I'm not doing this in the most time-efficient manner, and I apologize. But, we're doing this. I'd like to see how we're doing so far in experience. But Arbok is registered to the Pokedex. Only 891, though. I don't think I'm evolving a Sandshrew. Nope, definitely not. You can't evolve. You can't evolve. And I guess that's it, other than Pidgeys. So in terms of experience, we are not... Whoa. Yeah, we're not doing very well in terms of maximizing experience. I might as well get some more experience from here. Our bag is full. Oh, we can only get experience if we don't have a full bag. Okay. Fine, fair enough. In that case, let's go evolve some Pidgey. So I guess the rest of this will just be evolving Pidgey. Although, I can probably evolve a bunch of Rattata as well, though. I could try getting a Pidgeot that's stronger than the ones I have already, if I can get a Pidgeotto that's, you know, strong enough. But I would need a Pidgeotto that's, kind of strong. I have so much Pidgey candy, it's insane. So many Pidgey. So I'm probably going to release a bunch of Pidgeotto after evolving all these Pokemon, because I don't need this many. I mean, it's not that I don't want them, it's that I don't have room for them. Alright, 301. Time for you to move on and get stronger. Mostly the moving on part. I don't know. I don't like the idea of crushing them down into candy, but, you know, the professor's gonna do what he's gonna do. What can I say? Alright. So. We're evolving these Pidgey into Pidgeotto. So, yes. This is happening. This is definitely happening. So, you know what is your favorite Pokemon from Kanto? Just something to think about. Mine's actually Charmander, but if you take starters out of the picture, then that's a really tough question for me to answer. I mean, I do like Squirtle, which is also a starter, don't get me wrong. Actually, it's my first starter. But honestly, it would probably either be Chansey or Lapras. Although there are a bunch of Kanto Pokemon I really like, don't get me wrong. So, I don't know, I usually use, in first gen, I usually use a Lapras and a Chansey, because I really like them and all. But, I mean, on the other hand, I also like Articuno, I like Mew, I like all sorts of Pokemon, but I didn't actually, when I first played Generation 1, I didn't know about the Mew glitch, so, or Missing No, or any of that stuff. So I didn't have a Mew, I didn't have infinite items, I didn't have any of that stuff. I played the good old-fashioned way. Somehow I never noticed the Cinnabar Coast thing. So, that was definitely interesting. Also, as of Gen 2, I always ended up overlooking Chansey because it could evolve into Blissey. It wasn't until 5th Gen when the Eviolite came out that Chansey became a lot more viable in terms of use than Blissey, only because it can take a lot more, especially physical hits, than Blissey ever could. Except Blissey actually can take a hit or two, believe it or not. But the Eviolite just pushes Chansey over the top. The big thing was in 6th Gen, then Knockoff became a bigger contender in the metagame. So, a lot more Knockoff happens, which means the Eviolite is a little bit more risky. On the other hand, you still have to consider the fact that Eviolite, even if you, there's still the move before with Knockoff, and you're not always going to get the Knockoff down. I don't know. But no, in all honesty, I do really like using Chansey, but I also like using Porygon 2. Porygon 2 can do a lot more in terms of offensive hits, but it can also take a lot of hits. And it also has easy access to recovery, decent defenses. It's a lot better than Porygon, obviously, but because it has its own evolution, it can utilize the Eviolite as well. So, outside of Little Cup, Porygon has very little use. But Porygon's another Pokemon I really like from first gen, but since I didn't know how to use glitches, I didn't have a Porygon for a while. I mean, it took me a while to actually be able to get one. On the other hand, when I was really young, I didn't know how to get Articuno, so, yeah. That happened. So, I don't know. First gen was definitely interesting for me. Obviously, I had no basis of comparison because, well, at the time, no other generation existed. So there was nothing to compare it to. I didn't have an extensive video game history for myself, so pretty much it all came down to, well, Generation 1 just was Pokemon. That was Pokemon. Then when Generation 2 came out, that was basically the follow-up. That was the sequel to Pokemon. And I was not disappointed at all. In fact, I actually didn't finish, beat the games in Generation 1. I didn't actually know to go to Cerulean Cave and find Mewtwo, so I actually got Mewtwo after I started in Silver and Gold, which was definitely interesting. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. Although I do remember though, I traded my Charizard over to Silver and Gold, mostly for the Pokedex, but also so I could use it in Silver and Gold. And because the only glitch I knew about was in 2nd Gen there was a glitch to clone Pokemon, which is pretty widely known. So I wanted to clone all my Pokemon, so I sent them to 2nd Gen to do that. Well, my Charizard ended up being shiny, which in 1st Gen you'd never know because shiny Pokemon weren't a thing until 2nd Gen. So that was really interesting. In fact, if you don't count the Red Gyarados, that was actually my first shiny. And it was a Charizard, which is kind of hilarious. However, unfortunately, that couldn't be traded to Gen 3, when Gen 3 came out, with Ruby and Sapphire, which was very sad. I spent longer than I'd care to admit trying to trade between Crystal version and Ruby version, to no success. But that only gave me inspiration to start from scratch with Ruby and Sapphire, which honestly I am okay with. I mean, I was a little disheartened about the fact that a bunch of any Pokemon that aren't native to Hoenn were not obtainable until Fire Red and Leaf Green came out, which I actually got Emerald before I got Fire Red and Leaf Green, because I pretty much, for a time, gave up on Pokemon in general after Ruby and Sapphire. Not because of Ruby and Sapphire, but because it was basically the same thing again and again and again, and I kind of got tired of it. But then eventually Emerald came out. I saw it in like a, I believe it was a Circuit City, and I figured, you know what, this game looks interesting. I saw the back, I saw like the pictures of the Battle Frontier, I saw like a building that was, I believe, shaped like a Seviper. I'm thinking, that looks really cool. I wonder what this game is like. Maybe I should try playing it. So I actually decided to go and do that. So that was how I ended up getting back into Pokemon. Like, the funny thing was, that ended up being one of my favorite, battle facilities. The Battle Pike, which is kind of funny. But, alright, how are we doing with time? We have 9 minutes left. Alright. Alright, you know what, let's evolve our, Rattata. So then afterward, after I got through Emerald, I decided, you know what, I want to catch all the Pokemon, and Fire Red and Leaf Green had come out, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to play these games because I want to catch all the Pokemon. Now, that was before I knew about breeding mechanics, so I didn't know that you could breed with a Ditto. Now, I did find you could find Ditto in Emerald, which is really cool, one of the nice things about Emerald, because it made breeding a lot easier. But I didn't know you could breed with a Ditto. So I figured that the parent has to be female in order to get that species again. So basically I got Fire Red and Leaf Green at the same time, and I kept restarting from the beginning. Like, I was at the beginning of the game, I kept trading over my, the starters from my... It was either Fire Red or Leaf Green, I forgot which one I kept starting over. I think it was Leaf Green I kept starting over. Maybe it was Fire Red, I don't remember. I think it was Fire Red I kept starting over, actually, and trading them over to Leaf Green, so I could get all of the starters. So I'd have... So basically I ended up with 9 starters in total. So I could evolve... Basically I could evolve 3 of them into their final stage, 3 of them into the second stage, and leave 3 of them as they were. So I'd have all 9. Little I know I didn't have to end up doing all that. I only had to restart once. But that was... That happened. So then... I ended up with playing through the Fire Red with, well, my sister basically took it, and she looked at the sprite for Red and said, oh, he looks stupid, you should do this. And she had me play with the sprite for, I guess, Leaf, the girl. So in Fire Red, it's, my Fire Red version is actually a girl with my sister's name. Which is kind of funny how she basically took that. Then again, she did the same thing in Soul Silver. Only in Soul Silver and Heart Gold, I didn't have to do all that starting over because, well, I already had those, the starters from... Well, technically, the only one I had from 3rd Gen was Chikorita, so I guess I actually did start over one time so I could get all the starters. But, I mean, it is what it is. So I ended up starting over my games a few times to get all the starters, which I guess makes some sense, I suppose. Although in Sun and Moon, I didn't. In Sun and Moon, although my sister did take my Moon version just to test it out, I decided not to start over for now. I might one day do like a Let's Play, which means, unfortunately, that would end up losing that save file. I don't like starting over and deleting save files. Just something I don't like doing. But I didn't end up taking out all of my, well, taking all the starters, so I don't have a Litten. Basically, on my Moon, I started with Poplio. On Sun, I started with Rowlet. And basically, I let her play through the game, because, although she was behind me at all times, because I didn't want to go ahead of Sun version at any given time, because I wanted to play through it blind. But, so the Moon version was at all times behind the Sun version, until after beating the Ultra Beasts and whatnot. Or, I guess, catching the Ultra Beasts. So at that point, it was, after doing that, I figured the story was over, so pretty much it was done. But then I went back to university, so this was during winter break when I was back at home. So I have my 3DS. So there was... So pretty much I have the game, but I still haven't caught the tabus in that game because, well, I don't know. I've already done it in Sun, so I figure I'll wait until the next time I'm home. Who knows? So... That's why that's why I do not have a Litten. But I have started over plenty of games in the past. So the interesting thing was how when I was first playing Ruby and Sapphire, I didn't know about Latios and Latias other than what it said in the guide. Basically, the last thing in the guide was catching Latios and Latias. So me being quite stupid, figured, you know what? That means if I catch Latios or Latias, the game's gonna end. Because I was not very bright. So I didn't actually try to find them. Eventually I did find them, and I ended up catching them, but still, that was kind of... On the other hand, in 1st Gen, I had that stupid thought where if I beat the Pokemon League, the game's gonna end. So that means I don't want to beat the Pokemon League, because I don't want to lose everything I've already done. Because my experience from games were that once you beat the game is over and you have to start over. Pokemon was quite different, where there's no point where you really beat the game when it's over. You have to actually, you get to keep going as far as you want, pretty much. Which was definitely, different than what my experience had shown. So, I don't know. Any of you who are bored by my stories, I apologize. But I figure it sounds more interesting than just, you know, watching a bunch of Pidgeys evolve. The good thing is, I think we're starting to, use up our candies on our Pidgeys. This isn't even scratching the surface, though, of the experience we're gonna need in order to get to the next level, so it's gonna take a while. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I do feel like that's a pretty strong level curve with having this much experience required in order to get to the next level. But, you know, whatever. We're doing a lot of evolutions, so, you know, at least the Pokedex is being helped by this, I suppose. I'm pretty sure the Lucky Egg is pretty much expired by this point. So, you know, there's always next time, I suppose, when we can do more, evolution-like things. What is happening? Why did the game pause? Is that like the threshold of when the lucky egg wore off or something? I feel like that must be it. That had to be it. Alright, well. Lucky, no, we still have a minute. We still have a minute. So, let's evolve as many of these Pidgeys as we can. Unless, if I evolve Pidgeotto into Pidgeot. Now, that'll take a lot more candy. Might as well evolve 3 more Pidgey instead. So. Honestly, my, in, Ruby and Sapphire, my sister had no say over them because she had her own Ruby and Sapphire. Although she never ended up getting a DS, she basically, actually, no, she did have a DS. She gave me her DS after she gave up. She actually had Ruby Sapphire, and she also had Diamond and Pearl. She didn't have Fire Red, Leaf Green, Emerald, Platinum, Heart Gold, or Soul Silver. Although she did sort of take my Soul Silver. But not officially. But that was fine. Although then again, after beating Blue, she didn't even have the, she didn't even feel like going after Red. She just said, you know what, I've had enough. And she just gave up. So basically she left it up to me to just battle Red, which was, kind of, funny. But alas. I was okay with that. Heart Gold and Soul Silver were 2 of my favorite games, so I didn't mind at all. I kind of was a little disappointed when she took it in the first place, but, you know, I was okay with it, though, because it's not like she really took it. She just, you know. Besides, now that emulators are a thing, I can play as much as I want. And we are out of, Lucky Egg, we're out of Lucky Egg time. So, wow, that's actually been half an hour. Interesting. Could have evolved the Psyduck, but I guess I didn't. Whatever. Alright, I have a bunch of Pokemon to release, I suppose, because I can only catch 8 more anyway before I have no more room for them. So, yes, that is definitely the case. And we actually did make a dent in the experience we need. So, you know, if this happens again, we can actually probably get to level 24. So 76,000 experience points in half an hour is not bad. Not bad. Alright, so Pokedex-wise, seen 97, no sorry, caught 97, seen 108. So, somehow I've seen a Pichu. I don't know where, but somehow I must have. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Though Ditto recently came out, which was interesting. The way to get Ditto is basically if you're catching like a very common Pokemon like a Rattata or a Pidgey, it could potentially become a Ditto. Which is really weird, but still, I can't complain. So, as I said, I did actually catch a couple more of the Sandachus, so I have a few of them. So I guess the big question is, once I get enough candy to evolve a Pikachu, should I evolve a regular Pikachu or a Sandachus to get the Santa Raichu? I don't know. Which do you guys think I should do? Of course, I don't really play Go that much to begin with, so, I mean, the likelihood of that happening anytime soon isn't very likely. I did a little bit during the, like in December, when I didn't have university stuff to deal with, when I was out, but now, I mean, I don't have as much time for this kind of thing, and I don't really, it's not that I don't care about it, but it's not, I don't really have too much, motivation, or, I guess motivation isn't the right word. I have no reason to deal with, to do too much here. So, I don't know, but if that happens again, we'll see what happens. So, thank you for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time with some more Pokemon Go. Goodbye.